Hello and welcome to the Gooner Talk, back again with you guys for another episode of what is the Arsenal News Show. Joining you every morning at 8 a.m. UK time. Hope you're doing good. Hope you're doing well. Thank you as always for joining me. It's match day. It is the biggest match day, barring a Champions League final, as I've been saying, of Arsenal's season. It's as simple as that. That is where we're at with this. It is the biggest of days for Arsenal. The best chance of beating City. If we want to win the title, we've got to beat City. It's as simple as that. And that's why that is the aim today. The aim is to win. The aim is not to draw. The aim is not to avoid defeat, even though that would be a decent, probably more than decent result. Today is about winning. Today is about overcoming this obstacle. Today is almost, we are almost at that point where we feel like, if we have all of our players, we can really compete for this. And that has been the big problem, is not having our players available. But hopefully that changes today. Good morning to you guys in the chat box. Thank you so much, as always, for joining me. Sundays, I know, can be a challenge. And so you're very appreciated. Matt G, good morning to you, to Arasilki, to Derek, to Paul, to Darren, to Damien, to Curtis, to Maximius, Steve, Leopold. We got Sandman, Colton, Pika Who, Viraj, Conde, James, Nick, Glenn, Lars, so many, Blackshine, and plenty more of you guys as well. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. It is really appreciated. Drop a like, subscribe, all the usual YouTube-y stuff. It would be appreciated. I did a quick check on our. I don't do this too often, but I did a quick check on the analytics of the channel, and it says something like 50% of you aren't subscribed. So you, I can see you watching. You're not subbed. Just press it. And a Benjamin winner completed the comeback for Arsenal's under-21s. Fantastic. Really, really, really fantastic result to come back. Scored in the 79th and the 83rd minute. But a Rosiak free kick, Benjamin winner, completing that comeback. Really, really good. Really good scoreline, really good scorers. And Jack Wilshere's team getting back that momentum. So important. Moving forwards, and we have to talk about yesterday's Premier League results, which have obviously affected Arsenal's standing somewhat, and where we are. Arsenal could still go top of the table, and we'll talk about how they can do that with today's scoreline. But the luck continues. The luck does indeed continue for Tottenham. 1-0 win over Luton Town. Luton actually managed to have 11 men compared to Spurs' 10 for an entire half of football. They also managed to miss an open goal in quite spectacular fashion. I don't know how Adebayo hasn't scored the opportunity laid at his feet. But they did manage to still lose that game. And yeah, the luck for Spurs is just quite incredible, and it goes on. And I have people saying, "Tom, stop being so salty, Tom. It's not luck that gets you to 20 points after 8 games." And I'm like, sure, it doesn't. Luck doesn't get you to 20 points, but it does get you a hell of a lot of those 20 points. And I think that it has got a huge portion of those. You think about the Liverpool situation with the goal that should have stood. You think about playing against us. We gift wrapped Spurs a point in that North London derby. Think about the turnaround against Sheffield United in the last minutes of the game. Another one of them happened yesterday. They've been lucky. Just admit it. It's fine to say that a team have been lucky. It's also fine to say that they've had some really good things. Ange Postecoglou's done a good job since coming in. It's fine to say that, but it's fine to also admit that they've been the luckiest team in the league by quite some distance. And they've played Burnley, they've played Luton, and they've played Sheffield United. The 3 teams at the bottom of the league. And Arsenal haven't played any of them teams yet. So it's also worth bearing that in mind. Speaking of Burnley, they lost 4-1 at home to Chelsea. Chelsea building up a little bit of form now. They had that win over Fulham, of course, and now a 4-1 win over Burnley. Maybe things are turning for them. Still in the bottom half of the table, though, it's worth pointing out, our Chelsea. However, Man United are no longer in the bottom half of the table because they recorded a very late and lucky 2-1 win against Brentford. Scott McTominay turning up with 2 goals in the space of around 4 minutes in added time. Brentford were leading for more than 90 minutes of this game and still yet could not, sadly, come away from Old Trafford with the points. It would have been the first time since the 70s, I think, that United would have lost 3 home matches in a row. So we were there. We were very close to that. That would have been exciting, but they managed to save things right at the end. Everton, meanwhile, have got a massive result, 3-0 win over Bournemouth that takes them above Bournemouth. It takes them well above Bournemouth. They're already above Bournemouth, but it takes them further away. 4 points. They are 3 points off the relegation zone. Bournemouth very much in trouble. 3 points in their first 8 games. Not good for them at all. Fulham beat Sheffield United in a very impressive victory as well. Sheffield United bottom of the table. Fulham have been pushing up to 12th. They're now on 11 points. And Crystal Palace drew a very boring late night, Saturday night football 0-0 draw with Nottingham Forest. I think Forest will be the happier of the two sides with that result. Pep Guardiola has been talking about Mikel. He says that we worked together for 2 or 3 years with lots of success. I said many times that I learned a lot, and I was pretty convinced that he would be a good for Arsenal because I knew what he was like here and how he communicated with the players, his ideas, and I was convinced. He's proof that when a club believes in something, when the board and sporting director decide the way they want to play and keep the manager to play that way and sign the right players, it works. Sometimes you see it immediately and sometimes you need time. It happens when the people above you really believe in you and have patience and look at the training sessions and how things are building rather than just relying on results. If clubs only look at the result, that is the first step to being down. You have to rely on what the manager is doing rather than the results. Results will always be a consequence. Arsenal trusted him and the results are here. At the end, they have a manager for many years. He knows the club. He loves the club. Better than that is impossible. And this is what I've been trying to say for quite some time about Arteta. It's what I've been trying to convince a lot of Arteta's haters and critics of for quite some time, is that I get the desire for immediate success. I get the desire to make snap decisions like Chelsea have. And you look at what Chelsea have done. You look at Chelsea's success. You look at the Champions League. You look at the Premier Leagues they've won. And I see that and I'm like, I understand. I empathize why you want that quick success and why you want that. Arsenal, it just doesn't, for me, translate in the same way. And Arsenal are always going to have to find projects and processes and long terminology about their coaches to pick the right ones. When it's short-term success, like we tried with Unai Emery, it doesn't work here. It doesn't work. So you have to give the managers more time and you have to give the ability of them to kind of, establish their philosophy. And a coach that was going to do that was Arteta, and Guardiola definitely talks about it in that way. He was asked if Arteta was a mini-me in his press conference. He says, no, not at all. I dress better. I am more elegant. My wife gives the perfect outfit of all time. I was wondering where that sentence was going. I see 0 characteristics in him from me. I don't know about the dressing better, Pep. Arteta's got a very, very cut and dry look, which is appreciated. His father and mother are different. All the success he has belongs to Mikel and his people at Arsenal. It's down to them, not me, definitely. People say, oh, yes, he was with Pep and learned a lot, but I learned a lot from him as well. People think it was always that way, how much I taught him, but he teaches me too, and I learned well. I love the dynamic between Pep and Arteta. It's always going to be something that's kind of there. I can see it when if Barcelona face kind of Manchester City in the Champions League, and get that with Xavi and Xavi and Guardiola as well. I think that Arteta has learned a lot from Pep, but I think that there's a lot of individuality, about Arteta's coaching and Arteta's management, and a lot of originality as well. And I think it's really lazy when people turn around and say he just tries to copy Pep. Sure, there's inspiration. Without a doubt, there's inspiration. But it's not about copying. And let's be honest, Guardiola has cultivated the most successful club in Premier League history, barring Sir Alex Ferguson's Manchester United side. He has cultivated one of the biggest forces in footballing history. If you're going to take inspiration, if you're going to draw from something, why not draw from that? Just like Guardiola did with Johan Cruyff, So inspiration and drawing on past experiences and past success of other people is never a bad thing. So I never know why it's so chastised and really looked down upon. It really does. I do find it very strange. Anyway, let's talk more about today's game against City. Bukayo Saka is said to be in line to start this game. Plenty of reports coming out yesterday suggesting that Saka is indeed in line to make the starting lineup, which is obviously a really big boost for Arsenal. How fit he is the question. He only managed 25-odd minutes against Lens before needing to be replaced. Will he be in a better state for this game after suffering what was said to be a muscular problem on Tuesday? Only today will reveal that. Only the game will reveal that. Let's wait and see how ready he is. But a bigger story, arguably, is that, and I saw this from Connor Hum on social media yesterday, is that supposedly Gabriel Martinelli is in contention for this game, and that the Brazilian could be in the squad. Whether or not how ready he is, similar to Saka, it's very difficult to know how ready Gabriel Martinelli would be. Coming off the bench, will he have an impact? Is he ready to do that? Only Arteta and only really he knows. Martinelli knows more than anyone else. He knows his body. He knows if he's ready. So let's see if he's in the squad, on the bench. I'd expect Trossard to start this game. But let's wait and see. Let's see who Arteta ends up picking. It's going to be very exciting indeed to see the selection. I really am kind of hoping for Partey and Rice to start the game. But it depends on the fitness levels of Partey as well. There's a lot of question marks about today's squad. And Arteta's got to get it spot on. Arteta's got to take advantage of the midfield superiority that we should have. And I say should because despite Bernardo Silva and Calvin Phillips and I suppose it's difficult to know kind of the selections that they might go with. Kovacic, I imagine, will play. Maybe Mateus Nunes will play. But it's going to be very interesting to see the selection of the centre midfield in this game. And that's a big part of, I think, where this game could be won and lost. So, loads of questions about what Arteta should choose. There are zero questions when it comes to choosing a VPN, however, because there is only one to choose from. And that is, of course, NordVPN, which brings you safety and security online and the superpower to change your geolocation on your tablet, phone, or laptop. You can jump from one country to another seamlessly to give yourself access to the apps and applications and video feeds that you need based upon their country of origin. So make sure that you are not lagging behind. Make sure you're not one of these skeptics. Convert, join the NordVPN movements and get yourself that safety and security that will keep you away from those pesky trackers. Something I learned the other day, like you hear the word cookies. You probably heard this word when you pop up on a website. It's like, do you accept the cookies of the website? And it's a really kind of deceiving word, isn't it? Because cookies, who doesn't like cookies? Oh, well. I guess loads that are lactose intolerant if they're chocolate. Anyway, cookies aren't good when it comes to things online. If you replace the word cookie with the word tracker, which is effectively what they are, you wouldn't accept them. Do you want to accept all trackers? No, I don't. And so I use a VPN to keep trackers away from me. Stop stealing my data, guys, please. I don't want you stealing my data. And NordVPN gives you the safety and security. And if you don't like the service and you want to pretend you never even had it, or whatever, I don't know why you would do that, but if you wanted to, you get a 30-day money-back guarantee. So just go to nordvpn.com/Gooner, get yourself a significant discount off a 2-year plan, and of course, those extra months included as well. It's certainly worth it. Become part of the NordVPN family. I used it when I was in France to help me watch back all the highlights of the Champions League games so I could hop back to the UK. It was really useful and helpful, and I recommend that you use it as well. Right, let's move to part 2 and your questions then, guys, right after this. Okay, let's jump into the chat and tackle some of your questions. I love that comment from King Cobra Kai. That's great. Carl says, Tom, I can't stand how little the City players seem to fear playing against us, like Haaland and Grealish in their interviews. And why should they be? Winning today is important. And you're right. Why should they be scared? The record that they have is so good. So incredibly good. I think you look at the L's next to Arsenal in the league against City, and they go all the way back to 2015. You know, Arsenal need to find something today to end that. Yes, I know that some people out there are saying that, a draw is a good result. For me, this is a must win. We have to try and win this game. I will credit the team if they avoid defeat for sure, because it would be, ending that really poor run. But when you've got no De Bruyne and no Rodri, and there's doubts over Stones, and there's doubts over Bernardo Silva, and there's doubts in the squad, and there's upheaval in the selection, and they're coming to the Emirates, and we've got Partey maybe back, and Saka's going to start, and Martinelli could be back. And, when you've got lots of positives on your side and there's question marks on their side, you have to take advantage of that. You have to take advantage of it. This is the biggest game of the season. And I'm not in the dressing room, so I'm not putting the extra pressure on the guys. They know the job. They know what's on offer today. It is such an important game. And I really, really hope that we can come away with the 3 points and by more than one goal. Because if we go more than one goal up in this game and we win by more than one goal, top of the table, baby. And my goodness me, imagine if Arsenal went to that. And it's just, I'm saying it because I can. I'm saying it because it's a possibility. I'm saying it because it might not happen. So I'm going to live in this euphoric fantasy world for a second. But after all of the praise that Spurs have got, all of the praise that they have been lauded for, that this kind of bastion of we've got to enjoy Spurs. We've got to enjoy Ange Postecoglou because he's so damn likable for some reason, but he turned around the other day and contradicted himself in a press conference about officiating and referees, moaning after the North London derby about penalties, and then saying, we've got to, we've got to accept that officials are going to make mistakes. What a two-faced hypocrite. I hate that guy. I can't stand Ange Postecoglou now. I'm so glad he did that. It gave me a reason to hate him. I'm so thankful that he did that. Because it gave me a reason that I'm like, yes, I can hate this guy now because he's a hypocrite. He's a lucky hypocrite. And but if we win by 2 goals, Arsenal go above Spurs into the top spot of the table, and then everyone that's saying, Arsenal are this, Arsenal are that, they're not as good as people say, and we aren't as good as people say. I don't think we've had the particularly best start to the season, and yet we can beat City and go top of the table. What are people going to say then? What are people going to say then? And that is certainly worth fantasizing about, because I may not get to do it after today. So I'm sitting here at 8:20 a.m. in the morning and I'm going to fantasize about that possibility, because they're just not as good as people say, our Spurs. And Arsenal haven't been as good as I've wanted them to be. There's a lot of question marks about Arsenal. We're still evolving, still growing, still learning, still improving, still gelling, still taking ourselves to that next level. But if Arsenal sit top of the table come the end of the day, my goodness me, it would be hilarious. It would be hilarious. So, let's keep our fingers as crossed. I want everyone sitting there in a Haaland-esque position with fingers crossed, hoping the irony of that will bring about a result. Brian says, agree with Tom. Winning is the goal today. Proviso, Partey, Saka, and Martinelli all play and are all fit. Hopefully, fingers crossed, we can hope for that. Man like Sally says, that Spurs W came at a great cost. I feel the red card will definitely affect them. Maybe. It's only a 1-game suspension for... Actually, is it a 2-game suspension for Bissouma? Does he get a 1... Is it 1 game for the red and another game for the 5 yellows? I'd be great if it's a 2-game suspension. Who does he miss if that's the case? Spurs fixtures. It should be 2 games. It should absolutely be a 2-game suspension for the 5 yellows and then 1 for the red card. If it isn't, that's a joke. He would miss a home game against Fulham, which is not an easy game. They've already been knocked out of the League Cup by Fulham this season, and an away trip to Palace. It should be 2 games. Thank you. Yes, it is 2 games. There it goes. King says 1 game. And the red, he goes to 4. Why does he go to 4 yellows? He got 5. That's such a stupid rule. Why is it just 1 game? I need to do a quick check. Bissouma, 1 game ban or 2? Let's see. Does Google have the answer? Bissouma faces a 1-game ban after red. Why is it 1? That's such a cop-out. Why does it become... He got 2 yellow cards. That means he's had 5 this season. Why is it only 1 game? That's silly. It wasn't. If it was a straight red, I'd get it. Like, because he got 4 yellows and then a straight red card. But he's had 5 yellows this season. What a stupid rule. Derek says, Tom, your passion is perfect for Super Sun. I don't know. I feel fired up today. I feel you probably sensed it. I feel invigorated. I feel really like, and I'm going to be crying tonight. Yeah, you can just tell I'm going to be crying later on today. But I just feel, there's just something. There's something inside me today. There's a real fire about this. The real fire about today's game. I'm really pumped for it. I really hope the crowd. I'm going today. I'm going to be working it. I'm going to be in the press box, of course. And if you're not able to watch the game for whatever reason, make sure you follow our blog on football.london. I'm going to be doing some stuff outside the ground. I want to try and get down there a bit early to do some fan stuff as well. So if you're out and around the Armoury before the game, have a look out for me. I'll probably be out there around 2 hours before kickoff. So around 2:30-ish. So yeah, come in and say hello. And is it going to rain? Please, I say that. Last time I tried doing this before the PSV game and it rained. Let's have a quick look. Shall we? Let's go to Islington. Let's have a quick look at the weather. 0%. Yes. There we go. Love that. So yeah, I'll be in and around the grounds about 2 hours before kickoff. There won't be a post-City phone in today, Aaron, because I'm going to be home pretty late because I'll be working. But yeah, I will be in and around things there. Let's go to Magamba says, both Spurs and Arsenal are nowhere near the title. Arsenal's weaknesses in the second half of the season. Spurs are just going through a positive curve with a new manager and they have less settled than we are. I don't think saying Arsenal are nowhere near the title. I don't think that's necessarily fair, especially considering last season. But I think that we are pretty close to where we want to go to and where we want to be. We just need a bit of luck regarding injuries. That's what we need. HMM Spike says, I don't know, Tom. It seems like every other result hasn't gone our way this season. I'm pretty mentally prepared for all Look, I'm mentally prepared for all the possibilities. But there is nothing wrong with being optimistic. There's nothing wrong with being naive. There's nothing wrong with just being excited. There's nothing wrong with that. It shouldn't discourage people from being excited and getting your hopes up. Because, yeah, it's what football's about. Football is about being disappointed sometimes. Football's about being up for things and really going in pumped for the game. And I hope the Emirates crowd is fantastic today. I really, really do. Derek says, I'm so pumped. I told my daughters they needed to go to sleep so they could be up early with Dad for kickoff. Fantastic, Derek. Javan says, we'll score first. I just hope that we can keep what is that we have and not give away any sloppy goals in the first 10 minutes. And that's been the big thing. I feel like when we played City, we've made mistakes. And that's what we need to avoid, is that the nerves that kind of permeate through the players during these games. We need to overcome that. And I'm hoping that having somebody like Rice in the team will really make a difference, really make a big difference to this team. And I'm excited to see having what Rice does to this team and the difference that will make. Matt G says, is Ødegaard Norway's best player? I don't know who else would be. Have they got another good player, Norway? I'm really tempting fate here, aren't I? Let's go to Aaron says, after we win 2-1, you treat yourself to a 10-course meal. Oh, no, never again. Never, ever, ever. I still don't think I'm over it. I still don't think I've recovered fully. And Darren says, Tom, let's hope that Brighton can do us a favour as well. Are they playing Liverpool today? I assume so. Brighton play, yes. So, yeah, Brighton play Liverpool at 2 o'clock. So we'll know the result of that. But are we not already above them in the table? They're 1 point behind us. So, yeah. Man City could be 4th by the end of the day. That's interesting. Arsenal says, we have been on point today. I believe the players will get 3 points. And with Rice in midfield, he should be bossing it. I love the people that are saying Haaland is Norwegian. I know. Did you not get that joke? Was that not clear? Clearly, I know he's Norwegian. David says, I am optimistic after the humble pie Lens served us. Look, I will happily gobble up that humble pie from Lens if it means a nice sweet bit of victory pie against against City today. That'd be great. I'm hoping and praying alongside a win that in the Arsenal press lounge, I walk through the doors, and as I open those doors, the cheesecake that was an offer at the PSV game has returned. That's what I want to see. So my next big win of the day is if the Arsenal cheesecake is there. I need some of that cheesecake in my life. Yes, the diet is still going absolutely fine and well. I need some of that cheesecake because it's so good. I can't tell you how good it is. It's unreal. Nathan says, thoughts on the Zinni situation? What Zinni situation? Is there a Zinni situation? Let me have a quick look on Twitter. I don't know what the Zinni situation is. I don't know. I don't know what Zinchenko has done. Is it a political thing? Because if it is, then I'm kind of avoid to placing my kind of stamp on those types of things. But I can't seem to find it on Google. But if it is a political thing, then I'm probably going to stay out of it. Is best, because you're always going to end up upsetting somebody. It is a political. Okay, yeah, we're going to steer clear of that because I'm just going to, I'm not educated enough. I'd rather know all the facts of something before I put a stamp of opinion to something. Frank Yard says, Tom, you haven't seen. It's been going crazy. No, I genuinely, what I've been doing, like at the moment, is I've really been in the evenings trying to put my phone down. You've probably seen less of me being active on Twitter, stuff like that. I do get into some debates when the games are on, but I'm really trying to spend more time with family and stuff like that. I find that jumping into social media in the evenings is becoming really toxic to kind of my mental health. So I'm really trying to avoid that. When the games are on, I did yesterday. I tweeted about Spurs, and that kind of caused a bit of debate. But it's like, I talk very heavily about a lot of really important topics on the channel that are really important to me, and I feel that I have, my own kind of view on, because I've got links into different avenues in that area and that political ground, I suppose. But like, yeah, I've really tried to steer clear of social media in the evenings and stuff. So this Zinni thing I've missed, I'm afraid, and until I've really learned about it, I'm going to stay away from it because I don't know all the facts, so I can't. It'd be naive of me to comment on it. Man like Sally says, "Ha, Tom, the cheesecake is my missus' favorite." I tell you, man, I can't tell you how good the Arsenal Press Lounge cheesecake is. And I had someone tweet the other day saying, "I heard you talking about the food that you get in the Arsenal Press Lounge. Do they serve you the food to make you write nicer things about Arsenal?" You go to every ground, you get food. It's just part of the process. Well, hey, it's just part of the whole process of working at games. You get served food, but the Arsenal food is pretty darn good. I'll tell you that. It is pretty darn good. Brentford did a really good chili the other day that was on point, and I will praise the Brentford food. The Lens, it was like a chicken rice thing, and then a lot of cake, which I didn't have because I was still recovering from the food poisoning, so I barely ate any food whatsoever. Let's go to Aaron says, what do I have to do to get some of that sweet cheesecake? I suppose become a journalist and get in the Arsenal Press Lounge, mate. Let's go to Christopher says, Tom, if we sell Rambo in January, should we re-sign Giroud as a competition for Ray? Why would we do that? Why would Giroud be any good in goal? Is there something else that I've missed? Jorgen says, do you think the cheesecake is for some reason related to the amount of injuries that we have? If it is, I will give up the cheese. If it means giving up the cheesecake to avoid all future injuries, I will do that. I will certainly do that. Alex says, not relevant for Tom, though. No, politics is not a fun avenue to discuss. It's not fun. No, it's important to discuss things, but I feel like it's really important to discuss things if you're fully in the know and you're fully educated on it, because otherwise you're just going to say something that is not educated at all and that's really ignorant to the reality. So, when we talk about the racism and the homophobia and the sexism in the game and stuff like that, I'd like to think I'm really well clued up on those topics in particular. When I've got very close friends and family members that are LGBTQ+, when I've got very good friends of mine that are people of color, that face the struggles every single day, and I get them to come on the channel. If I have a chat with Drew, we talk a lot about mental health and stuff like that. Those topics I really feel like I'm clued in. to discuss. But it's really difficult to jump into a topic when I've literally heard about something 5 minutes ago I wasn't even aware of, and then to stamp where I stand on it. It'd be really unfair of me to do that, and I don't think I'd represent the views of whatever the whole thing is about in the best way possible. Maximus, it's Ben White's birthday. Surely he deserves a screamer tonight, Tom. By the way, I think we missed a trick by not playing Giroud in goal. Where's this Giroud in goal? Did Giroud go in goal or something? If I missed it, let's have a quick look. This is what I mean. I was not on social media yesterday. I had an evening in with the missus. It was great. Olivier Giroud plays as goalkeeper for AC Milan and pulls off stunning save. Okay. Right. Surely that's on Twitter. I must be able to see Giroud save. Let's have a quick look. Come on. Olivier Giroud in goal. That's got to be something worth watching. I can't stop watching Olivier Giroud save. Oh, come on. Please play. Please play the video. Here we go. Oh, Olivier. Oh, that is that brilliant stuff. So Milan are 1-0 up in the last jumping on him. You got to appreciate. Is it me or does Mike Magnon just get injured all the time? Olivier Giroud coming out. What an absolute look at that. Oh, he's just come out and smacked the ball. Oh, I mean, it's horrific goalkeeping if it was like a professional, but that's brilliant. I love it. I absolutely love that. That's great. What a wholesome thing. I'm not a fan of what he did at Chelsea. I'm not a fan of the whole, thank you, Arsenal thing. But I appreciate everything Olivier Giroud did for Arsenal. The FA Cups, he helped us win. It was a red card for Magnon. Okay, he wasn't injured. But he does get injured a lot. He does get injured quite a lot. Olivier Giroud, I guarantee you that FIFA now release an inform Olivier Giroud goalkeeper card. I haven't bought FIFA this year, and I won't be buying FIFA. No, it's not even called FIFA, is it? It's called like EAFC or something. I guarantee they'll be releasing a card. Let's go to Let's scroll down a little bit more. Ross says it feels like Ben White's had about 5 birthdays since joining us. What? That's such a random comment. He's been with us since 21, so he's had. And if his birthday's in it's in October, because that's the month and it's today. He would have had 1 in 21, 1 in 22, 1 in 20. So he's had 3. So it's he's only had 2 less than you. Well, that's such a weird comment. So yeah, there you go. Anyway, that does bring us to an end of today's show. What a nice way to end the show on that Giroud viral clip. See, I suppose there is, there's benefits and there's negatives to staving away from social media at times. So I missed the Olivier Giroud thing. But thank you, everybody, for tuning in. It is very much appreciated. I hope that you enjoy today. If you're going to the game, stay safe, stay well. I also want to extend my thoughts to the family of the Southampton supporter. I don't know if you saw this story. I did see this story yesterday. A man collapsed at the Southampton game. I believe there was someone sadly passed away. I think it was at Leyton Orient a week ago as well. Really awful. And I really hope that, families can find some peace. Thoughts go to the person that was involved in yesterday's sad incident at Southampton as well. I saw Dan George tweeting about it yesterday. So I hope that those people are okay and that people around that situation are well. But thank you to everyone that's listened. Let's keep some positive thoughts going for the game. Let's keep optimistic. Let's really get behind this. So if you're going to the game, get into the ground early. Don't leave it to the last minute. The crowds, get into the game about half an hour before kickoff. Fill out that stadium as quick as you can. And really let's go and back the guys and keep our fingers crossed for a big result. I'm going to go for a 3-1 Arsenal win. Top of the table come the end of the day. Fingers crossed. Let's hope. Let's hope. But thank you guys for tuning in. Have a brilliant day. I'll see you again very, very soon. And as always, up the Arsenal. Come on, you Gunners!